Close your eyes for a moment and imagine South Africa in 1970. The world was changing. Gold prices were rising, politics were tense, and history was being written in quiet, powerful ways. In the middle of it all, a small, humble coin entered circulation, the 1975 cents from South Africa. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't gold. It didn't look like treasure. But sometimes, the most overlooked pieces carry the deepest stories. The 1975 cents coin from South Africa represents more than just small change. It comes from an era when the South African rand system was still relatively young, having been introduced in 1961. By 1970, the country was firmly using decimal currency, and the 5-cent coin played a daily role in the lives of ordinary citizens, used in shops, markets, bus fares, and cafe counters. Now think about this. How many coins passed through your hands in the 60s and 70s? Hundreds. Thousands. Most of them were spent without a second thought. But what if one of those simple coins could today be considered a hidden gem? The 1975 cents coin was typically struck in nickel. It has a solid, practical feel, strong, durable, made for circulation. On one side, you'll find the national coat of arms used during that period, a symbol of authority and identity. On the other side, the denomination 5C along with the year 1970. Clean. Direct. No nonsense. Just like many men of that generation, practical, strong, built to last. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1975 cents coins are the same. And that's what separates pocket change from collector gold. In the world of coin collecting, small differences mean everything. Mint marks, condition, strike quality, and rare production variations can dramatically change value. Some of these coins were struck in Pretoria at the South African Mint. During certain years, subtle differences in minting created varieties that today are studied carefully by collectors. A slight variation in lettering, a sharper strike, a coin preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, never worn down by decades of use. For most people, this coin is worth exactly what it says, 5 cents. But for collectors, condition is king. A heavily worn coin with scratches and fading details may only carry minimal collectible interest. However, a pristine example, one that looks almost as sharp as the day it left the mint, can command a much higher premium. Now, let's talk about why this matters to you. Men in the 55 to 65 and above range often have something younger generations don't. Forgotten treasures tucked away in drawers, toolboxes, old suitcases, coin tins, and inherited collections. Maybe your father saved coins. Maybe you did. Maybe you put away foreign coins from travels or gifts and never looked at them again. The 1975 cents from South Africa is one of those coins that could easily be sitting unnoticed in a collection of world coins. And while millions were minted, survival in high-grade condition is a different story. Coins were meant to circulate, and circulate they did. Decades of wear have reduced the number of sharp, high-quality examples. Collectors today look for coins graded in mint state condition. That means no significant wear, original luster intact, sharp edges, clear details. These are the coins that stand out under magnification and bright light. There is also the emotional value. Coins like this are time capsules. When you hold one, you're holding 1970 in your hand. You're holding the era of classic cars, vinyl records, strong work ethics, and a world without digital payments. Back then, money had weight. It made a sound. It felt real, and here's something powerful. The coin market has grown tremendously over the past decades. What was once a quiet hobby has turned into a serious investment field. Auction houses, private collectors, and international buyers are constantly searching for rare and high-grade coins from around the world. South African coins, in particular, have gained attention because of the country's rich history and limited high-quality survivors from certain years. Political shifts, economic changes, and metal recycling over the decades have reduced the number of preserved examples. Imagine discovering that a small coin you once ignored is now being examined under professional grading services, sealed in protective holders, and traded internationally. But let's be clear, most circulated 1975 cents coins are modest in value. The key factors that could elevate the price include exceptional condition, rare mint errors, or extremely low surviving numbers in top grades. Mint errors are especially fascinating. Off-center strikes, double strikes, planchette flaws, These are accidents that create rarity. Collectors pay strong premiums for genuine, verified mint errors because no two are exactly alike. Now picture this scenario. A retired gentleman, cleaning out an old desk. He finds a small tin of coins from overseas. Inside, among British pennies and Canadian nickels, sits a 1975 cents from South Africa. He almost tosses it aside, but something makes him pause. He looks closer. The coin shines. The details are crisp. It feels different. That pause, that moment of curiosity, is where value begins. The coin collecting world rewards patience and knowledge. It's not about luck alone. It's about understanding what you have. If you own one of these coins, examine it carefully. Look at the edges. Check for wear on high points. Compare it to verified high-grade images. Consider professional grading if it appears exceptional. The power of coins is not just in metal. It's in scarcity, condition, demand, and story. And this particular coin carries a powerful story from a transformative period in South Africa's history. It connects economics, politics, craftsmanship, and everyday life into one small circular piece of metal. For many men watching this, there's something deeply satisfying about tangible assets. Gold, silver, land, classic cars, and yes, rare coins. They are real. You can hold them. They don't disappear with a password. Now here's the part that will truly make you sit up. While most 1975 cents coins trade for modest collector prices depending on condition, a theoretically perfect, unique, error-struck, one-of-a-kind specimen, verified, authenticated, and demanded by elite collectors, could reach astonishing levels at a high-profile international auction and in the world of rare collectibles. When rarity meets wealthy competition, prices can explode beyond imagination.
Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at that old jar of coins sitting in your drawer. Today, we are diving deep into the story of a South African coin that might just be one of the most astonishing finds in numismatic history, the 1968 5-cent coin known as the sword. Now, if you've ever held an old coin between your fingers, you know there's a certain weight to it, not just metal, but time, memory, and mystery. Each coin carries a piece of the past, a silent witness to decades gone by. But some coins, rare and almost forgotten, carry something else entirely, a secret value far beyond their humble face. And this little 5-cent piece from 1968 is one of them. Picture South Africa in the late 1960s, a country in transition, a place of sharp contrast and deep history. The rand had only recently replaced the British pound, and the nation was minting coins that reflected its new identity. The 5-cent coin of that era seemed simple enough, a small copper nickel piece featuring the image of a blue crane bird, South Africa's national symbol, designed by the famous engraver Tommy Sassin. To the ordinary eye, it was just change, something you'd slip into your pocket without a thought. But to collectors, this particular year, 1968, holds a whisper of legend. You see, in numismatics, it's not always the most glamorous coins that hold the most value. It's the mistakes, the trials, the rare mintings that make history. And in 1968, something happened during the minting process that produced a very small batch of coins unlike any other. These coins, known informally as the sword variety, were minted under unusual circumstances, possibly as test strikes or low-mintage specimens that never reached public circulation. Some say they were part of an internal minting experiment. Others claim they were struck using a die with subtle variations that only the sharpest eyes can see. For years, few people even knew this variety existed. Coins circulated and disappeared, worn down in the hands of everyday people buying milk, bread, and petrol. But somewhere, in the folds of time, a few untouched pieces remained, pristine, gleaming, and perfectly preserved. Decades later, one of these coins surfaced in the possession of a retired South African engineer who'd kept it in a small wooden box since his youth. He had no idea that this simple coin, tucked away for over 50 years, would one day make global headlines. When he brought it to a coin dealer, the reaction was immediate. The expert noticed the finer details, the slightly darker tone of the metal, the subtle alignment differences, the sharper relief on the blue crane's feathers. After careful examination and verification, it became clear, this was no ordinary 5-cent coin. This was the elusive sword variant from 1968, one of perhaps only a handful known to exist. Word spread through collector circles like wildfire. Coin forums buzzed. Auction houses made discreet inquiries. How could something so small, so seemingly insignificant, suddenly become a treasure of immense worth? But that's the allure of numismatics. It's not about size, it's about story. It's about rarity, condition, and the human narrative that accompanies the metal. As experts dug deeper, they confirmed that only a few specimens were ever documented, each in near-perfect mint state. The composition, too, was slightly different from the standard issue, adding another layer of fascination. Some theories suggest a limited test run was ordered by the mint master of the time, a man named Swart, hence the nickname that stuck ever since collectors from around the world began searching through their old coin albums, hoping they might be sitting on one without realizing it. South Africans who had grown up during the 1960s rummaged through jars and boxes, thinking of the change they once received at corner stores or petrol stations. For many men of that generation, the 1968 5-cent coin was a familiar part of their youth. But for a lucky few, it could now represent an unexpected fortune. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about what makes this so captivating. A coin that once bought a loaf of bread is now worth more than most houses, more than some small businesses, more than an entire lifetime of savings for many people. It reminds us that history hides its treasures in plain sight. It's not just about luck, it's about awareness, about appreciating the value of what others overlook. Collectors and investors today are willing to pay astronomical sums for verified pieces. The appeal lies not only in rarity but in the cultural memory it carries. For South Africans, it's a tangible link to a turbulent yet defining era. For global collectors, it's a symbol of how numismatics can preserve pieces of a nation's soul. And for those of us who simply love a good story, it's a reminder that the ordinary can sometimes become extraordinary. Over the years, several of these coins have been authenticated and graded by professional services, each one adding to the mystique of the Swart legend. Some have sold quietly in private collections, their exact prices undisclosed. But every now and then, one surfaces at auction, and the numbers are staggering. Bidders from Europe, North America, and Asia compete fiercely, knowing how seldom these coins appear. Now, here's where things take a truly breathtaking turn. In one of the most astonishing private sales recorded, a near-perfect specimen of the 1968 Swart 5-cent coin fetched a value few could have ever imagined, an astounding $2.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth a nickel now carries a price tag of $2.5 million. It stands as a testament to how history, rarity, and passion can elevate a tiny piece of metal into a masterpiece of human fascination. So, the next time you stumble upon an old coin, don't just toss it aside. Look closer. Hold it to the light. Think about where it's been, what hands have touched it, and what stories it might still hold. Because sometimes, the greatest treasures aren't buried in distant lands or locked in vaults, they're hiding right there in your own collection, waiting for someone to notice. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tales of lost history, hidden value, and the remarkable world of rare coins. Who knows? The next $1 million discovery might just be in your pocket.